Good morning, guys, and welcome to Peculiar Pets. I just wanted to do like a bit of a video walk around, really. So first up, as many of you know, all the fish gear is all on half price just to get it gone. Obviously, since we stopped doing fish, we don't do so much fish stuff, so sort of give you an idea of what's on there. There's all kinds of like fertilizers, liquid carbons. There's the root tabs, which, to be fair, the root tabs are actually really good if you've got a planted terrarium as well. You can bury them in your soil, and as long as they're in like your drainage layer, they'll just dissolve and then feed your plants that way as well. That works really, really well. You've got the carbon, last few filters, and the last few air pumps as well. So part of our recent little shimmy around, we've moved a few of the bits together. So there's loads of fake standing plants. There's a massive palm at the back, which obviously we've not displayed very well. So they're really cool. And they're part of the new Beta Terra range, and it's like an ultra realistic thing. So you've got like little Phottonias, you know, that funky little thing as well. They're really cool. The planty things, and these are actually an aquarium product, but they work really, really well for growing bromeliads. Basically, your pots fit into there, and then it just looks like growing out of wood, so it's kind of good. I'll just move my can. And then you've got all different heights, all the water bowls are all together now, and then the bigger stuff at the bottom. These are really popular, and rightly so, especially these corner ones. They make great basking spots for bearded dragons. What's left of the cork after a very busy weekend? Yoni. Heat lamps, and currently best accepted is the Exoterra Intense, so we usually have those in stock. If we can't, we'll get the Arcadia Floods, which are an alright second. Infrared output wise, the Intense take it by quite a way, so if you're using basking lamps, they're the ones to use. Then we've got the mini halogens. Absolutely love these things, especially in warmer weather because they're low wattage, so you've got like a little 20 watt, and you can get like 40 degrees out of these, but it's quite a narrow beam, so you don't really want to use them if it's a larger animal, so like you wouldn't put them on something like a big blue tongue skink or tegu or something. The fish foods that we're keeping on, so we've got the tropical range and the fish science, which just needs a restock, so we've sold quite a bit of that. Fish science is bug based, it's really, really good stuff. It's basically made out of calciworms, and then tropical is more of like a traditional flake, so a bit more kind of one size fits all rather than being more insectivores. That's a few bits and bobs to do with crested geckos. So we've got the Arcadia range in now as well, so that's the Sticky Foot Gold. It's really good stuff. The old formula was crap. Nothing ate it, despite it being nutritionally quite good. Nothing actually enjoyed it, and there's a few different flavours in there as well. Blue River, because we are die-hard Blue River fans, so limited edition dragon fruit that's not seeming to be very limited, and then a few other flavours at the back as well. Supplements as well, so we do a few different ranges of supplements. So that and that are like pre-formed vitamins, so they're the sort of thing that you use maybe once a week. They contain D3, they contain vitamin A, vitamin C, all the letters of the alphabet, whereas that Earth Pro A is more like a precursor to vitamins. So it's got all kinds of botanicals and bee pollen and all kinds of different stuff, so it's you can't really overdose on it, so it's a good couple of times a week mixing just to kind of fill a few gaps. It's a really, really good product. Started getting Omnigold back in as well. If you've got blue tongue skinks, tegus, even shelter pusiks and stuff like that, they love this stuff. Redfoot tortoises go mad on it as well. You basically mix that and the insecticals very similar. You mix them into almost like a gel's probably the wrong word. It's more like a putty. And then you can roll it in balls. You can just feed it as is. You can mix it into veg, all kinds of different stuff. It's really, really good products, and again fortified with bee pollen and vitamins and all that kind of stuff. The Omnigold contains blood as well, which is quite a good addition to it. Silkworm food, because silkworms are a nightmare to keep alive. Bee pollen, which again sold quite a lot of. Bee pollen is a brilliant thing to be putting onto your veg. It's quite good for things like bearded dragons, but you can also dust insects in it as well. So if you've got like a crested gecko or something like that, it's not a bad thing to be dusting on if your gecko diet doesn't contain bee pollen, but they both do. Some tortoise stuff. So that's I don't know why they call it juvenile. It's weeds in a bag. I don't know why that would make it a juvenile mix, but it's a genuinely good mix. It's more of a mix through, so that and the flour mix you would put on top of your forage food, especially this time of year where there's weeds, but there's not kind of huge variety. The latest tortoise edition that is genuinely good, that is 60 species of plant. They're like little cubes, and most stuff quite likes them. It's a really, really good food, so that's well worth it if your tortoise is waking up as well. Thermostats, because everyone needs one. Disinfectants, the deep heat projectors from Zoomed. These were on a massive offer, so they're nice and cheap. They're good if you need supplemental heat. They're not a basking lamp, so you don't want to be using them just through the day. But they're a good kind of second best. But we would usually do ceramic heaters for night heat. Little nano LEDs, again, got these on offer, so you can do little nano LED and little nano lamp dome for 30 quid. They're brilliant for mantis and jumping spiders, really good for just adding extra light onto something like a crested gecko, because they'll just sit on top of the mesh. Really, really nice little bits of kit. And the little LEDs are brilliant. In fact, that's one there on an island, which is thriving. So this is my colony of sweet aroma ants. They're probably not up yet. There's nothing living in the water anymore. But yeah, those trees have basically been growing under one of those nano LEDs. And then top shelf is just guards. These are a new thing we've got as well. They're just a big tub. They're really, really good for isopod colonies. They're really good for bigger tarantulas. They're great for scorpions, millipedes. They're like a giant bra plast, but we're not allowed to say that. They've got the little hinge lid as well, so you can easily feed your more kind of defensive spiders without them charging across your room. Mini misters, they're awesome things. I've got one on top of the giant tank up there. They're really good. The nozzles are brilliant. It comes with 2 nozzles and enough pipe to do, I think it's about 6 foot. So they're quite good. And then just clamp lamps. Kieran's tiny mini corner that he made, bless him. So this is all stuff for like little jumping spiders, little mantis. It's like tiny water balls for spiderlings, tiny water balls, tiny toadstools, the best skulls ever. Little mini catappa leaves, so if you've got like a terrestrial spider and you want a bit of leaf litter, you don't need to buy the full block, you can just crumple these up. Tiny mapani wood as well, so they're brilliant little hides for things like baby pink toes. You can stand those up and then they can hammock those up, and then you can also sink them down for things a bit more like your electric blue earth tigers and huahinis that are going to kind of web over the top of everything. That is spiderwood, brilliant mantis stuff because it's really, really lightweight, so like if anything gets knocked, it won't hurt them if it falls. Small pieces of cork, because we always need small pieces of cork. Wood, but that's taking a bit of a hit. There's normally lots more wood there. This stuff's cool. This is honeycomb wood. It looks really, really good if you put it in with green bottle blues, but it's also brilliant for other spiders, and it looks really good if you attach bromeliads to it as well. And just a bit more decor down the bottom. There's humid hides. Those Pro Rep ones are brilliant. They're massive as well. You can get an adult corn snake in the bottom one. And then just a few bits and pieces of that. And then our rocks at the bottom, because as you all know, I am branch and rock obsessed. We've got mixed slate in there, black star lava rock, black lava rock, goby rock, which when you get it wet is actually pink. It's really pretty stuff. And our last few bits of dragonstone as well at the back, which is awesome stuff for just anything really. It's got all kinds of little nooks and crannies in it. Some of our very, very extensive range of fake plants. They're part of the new Beta Terra. They're actually on the wrong shelf. We've got the plant mats as well. New Beta Terra. All kinds of different stuff. The Mahusive Beta Terra tank at the front. So this is now home to my pair of Tokay geckos. And there is Tokay Cam. It's not on at the minute. These guys literally never come out through the day. Eventually, all this kind of big gap at the top here will all be filled up with trees, because the trees are all starting to grow now. The Tokays actually live in this cork tube. They're around there. Almost never come out through the day, bless them, but once it's got babies in there as well, we'll probably see those a little bit more. Next to them now is all our bioactive stuff, so botanicals, driftwoods. These little bags of rocks are mint, right? I ordered them to see what they were, and I'm actually quite impressed with them. So they look really, really good if you just kind of scatter them through small setups or pile them up for something like a leopard gecko. They're just pretty, and they're cheap as chips, so they're quite cool. Got loads of different plants here. We've got loads of different cuttings and stuff. A few bits of botanicals left. That's getting a big restock in the next couple of weeks. So we'll have all the different catappa leaves, all the different monica leaves, all that kind of stuff. We've got Rosa Jerichos or resurrection plants. They're really funky. You just wet them and they grow back, but they can stay in this dormant state for up to like 50 years, I think it is. A few more botanical bits, and then some of our bigger plants. We've got gorgeous Swiss cheese as well. That's doing really, really well. Up top, we've got leaf litter, all the leaf litter, some more leaf litter, bit more leaf litter, and volcanic stuff. This is really, really good. It's an aquarium product, but it doesn't have to be. If you pop this, so when you're doing your substrate layers, you would have your soil, then maybe your moss, and then your leaf mulch, and then your leaf litter. You put this under your leaf mulch, and it's basically just plant food, but you can mix it into your soil, you can put it as a very bottom layer, like in your drainage layer with your clay balls. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with it. It's really, really good stuff. And it's nutrient packed, it lasts for ages. Then we've got the hyper realistic Beta Terra stuff. That one keeps falling off its dermaiden. So you've got like ferns, you've got that funky thing which I can never remember the name of. You've got big Swiss cheese, some more ferns. And then the newest stuff is our doggy range. So this is kind of puppy stuff. So you've got stuffed hooves, beef bark. That's awesome stuff, is that? If you've got a dog that likes to chew, that's a good thing. Peculiar Paws 80% meat treats. Feeder balls, they're doing really well then. You can adjust the size of the holes on them by just twisting it. And then if you've got a little dog, you can make sure its little treats aren't coming out too quickly. Antlers, buffalo horns. The burgers are back. Everyone loves the burgers. Rabbit ears, I just need to pop some more in the basket. Yak bars, they're quite a good one, especially for teething puppies, because they are edible, but they kind of they last for ages, and they go kind of gummy, so when they've got sore gums, it's nice to just kind of suck on as well. Cod bites, but we'll get to those in a second. Puppy parcels, these contain a couple of toys, 80% meat treats. There's a little £5 treat bag in there as well, which I'll show you in a sec. More 80% meat treats, peanut butter, dry quail eggs, and bone broth. If you are raw feeding or kibble feeding, bone broth is really, really good to just add on top. You can actually put this in ice cube trays and freeze it as well, so you don't have to use like the whole bag all at once. There's different flavours as well, so you've got duck, moose, randomly, and chicken. The freeze-dried quail eggs as well, sort of something you can just add on to your food. Don't matter if it's kibble, don't matter if it's wet food, raw food, whatever you're using. Puppy parcels, how cute is that? So there's just a couple of... Excuse me. What are you barking at? Shut up. So puppy parcels, you've got burger in there, cut trachea, rabbit ears, that sort of thing, and then the duck pate as well. If you're training, this stuff is brilliant because you can cut it up and freeze it. You can keep it in your fridge for a few days, but it's quite a lot. So you cut it into little cubes, and it is just meat basically. Well, it's meat and chickpea flour, but it's 95% meat. So really high reward. Most dogs will do anything for it, so it's a really good one if you're training a pup and that sort of thing. Which then brings us onto our newer range of puppy foods. So we've got beef, Scottish salmon, and free-range turkey. These are all the Superfood 65 range, so the ingredients are like high-end Michelin star gourmet type stuff. There's loads of like different herbs and all kinds of flower extracts and stuff. It's really, really good stuff. Next to that as well, we've now got small breed and small breed light as well, if you've got a little tubby tiny dog. Superfood 65 range, just standard adult dog. There's all kinds of flavours in that. And then my favourite thing, natural treats and chews, part 1. So there's pretty much every bit of animal on here. You've got ostrich toes, you've got lamb trachea, lamb ears, bunny rabbit feet, beef trachea, goat ears. They stink, but the dogs love them. Buffalo gullet, beef tails, cow noses, they're kind of grim. Pizzles, everyone loves pizzles. Moon bones, chicken feet, that is camel tripe, beef liver, that stuff's well good. And they're goat skins, they're quite good if you just want to keep a dog busy because they're not very easily chewable. Bambi's dad's legs, these are really good. All I would say with these, Yoni's not allowed these because he eats the hoof. So they're kind of a supervised chew. Moo cow ears, they're awesome. Stink, but they're awesome. Also down here as well, we've got our £22 big dog boxes. So, I'll show you this. So these come with all kinds of stuff in them, but they're now in very attractive cupcake boxes. So you've got ears, you've got tracheas, you've got tripe, you've got braided goat skins, you've got cow ear, pretty sure there's foot in there somewhere. Yeah, there's all sorts in there. It's really good, and we've called it Big Dog Bundle because the bundle's big, not because it's for big dogs. So you can use these for small breeds as well. They're perfectly safe for pretty much any dog, really. And then more dog food. So this is the standard grain-free. They're the free samples as well if anyone wants these. If you're buying any of the dog products, you can have any of these for free. If not, they're £1 each. So you've got, it's a new food they brought out that includes peptides to try and make it more kind of bioavailable. So you've got weight control, skin and coat, and gastrointestinal. So more grain-free, all the grain-free, many grain free. This stuff is with grain, and this is all 25% off. When we started with the dog food, we did all the ranges that they did, and just through kind of my recommendation, really, the grain free has far outsold this. So we're sort of getting rid of this to make room for more of the Superfood 65 and the grain free. New dog toys, every dog needs them. They're amazing. There is a squeaker in the head. They all squeak. Some little ropes and the carrots as well. You only had one of them carrots as a pup, and I think it only died about 6 months ago when he decided it needed to be in 46,000 pieces. This new freeze-dried stuff is really good. Quite impressed with this. So we've got whole fish, and then salmon cubes, duck cubes, chicken cubes, cod cubes, chicken powder, which is really good for just sprinkling on top of everything, lamb puffs, beef liver, duck cubes, freeze-dried raw chicken form. So that's basically chicken through a blender with some egg and then freeze-dried. So again, you can mix it into kibble, you can use it as treats. That's a really funky range, and it's new to us, and it's selling really well. There is also, for this gap here, quail pieces, but they have sold really quick. Cats apparently are going mad on the quail pieces and the capelin. So if you've got fussy cats, these are a good way to get some cool food. Terrariums, not many of you know that we actually do these still, because I kind of tucked them out the way. These are brilliant for isopods, smaller mantis. Annoyingly, this bigger one isn't wide enough for your big mantis like your Asian greens, but it's brilliant for flowers, orchids, that kind of stuff that want higher humidity. But the lid has a little fan in it as well as a light. So you can do live plants to keep the humidity up, but the fan keeps the air circulating so you don't suffer from sort of like stagnation and stuff. Still got a couple of snake candles. They are awesome. The yellow one smells amazing. Couple more little houses, and these have been quite funky. This is a fish thing that we're going to keep because they're kind of multifunctional. They're a little under substrate hide. So if you like have, say, a glass tank for like a leopard gecko, and you want to see its humid hide, you can cover the front with a bit of black acetate, black card, anything like that. The animal can go in, feel secure, but if you need to check it's okay, you can quickly check without massively disturbing it, and it gives them like a proper burrow. But they are also awesome for fish, which is what they're actually made for. One of the many terrariums that are growing in the shop at the minute. We've got a few little projects going on. This is actually my morning geckos. I don't think any of them are up yet, apart from, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There is the tiniest little baby, just there. I don't think you can quite make that out. You just see the eyes. That is a tiny, tiny baby morning gecko. There you go. He's just coming out. So yeah, we've found several eggs in here as well recently. So our morning gecko colony should be starting up very soon. So that's all good. Spiderlings. As you all know, we stock a ridiculous amount of spiderlings. There's probably about 100, 120 left in there now. And the isopods are in there, some of the smaller millipedes are in there and that sort of thing. And then obviously there's the Vivs. So you got, this is Norbert, he's on his holidays, he's loving life. Look at that. The nastiest little boa on the planet, he's rather gorgeous. The leopard gecko females are in here. Yes, we cohabit them. No, I don't want to hear why you think that's a bad idea. The tiny little Rankins that came into us as a rehome recently. He is so cute. He's doing really, really well. He's eating really good. He's all ready to go and that sort of thing. And he's just a bit cute. Really active as well. I don't know if it's just with the warm weather that he's come round a bit, but yeah, bless him. One of my favourite species of snake. Needs a good shed, bless him. This is an albino black rat snake he's actually sold. He is full of the joys of spring. So he's been all over the place digging. So he's absolutely filthy. And he just needs a really good shed to get that orange colour coming back, bless him. But yeah, he's awesome. If you're in store and you haven't seen him, he's always out and about, so check him out. The emerald tree skinks. Now we might not get much of a look at these because they can be a bit jumpy with the camera. But they've just got up, just started basking for the morning. Aren't they fabulous? Yeah, so that's the little female. He's looking rather plump, so it'd be nice if there's some little pearly whites out of this. Everybody's favourite bearded dragon. There's Harry. Harry half dragon with his missing back end, bless him. Harry's a bit of a weird one. He is available. but there are a lot of hoops to jump through. So if you're thinking of taking on a very, very special bearded dragon, let us know. But yeah, he's not a good first time pet. That's kind of been the issue, finding him a home. Many of you will recognise this face. This is the male brown basilisk that we've got in. He's actually sold, and he's going back to Wales, where he was born. But yeah, he is fantastic. He's been here a long time, and as you can see, he is not a fan of anyone. Underneath all the vivs, we've got all of our substrates. So there's Beardy Life, Leo Life, and Habitat Bearded Dragon Bedding. It very much depends on the week as to which one I get. It is pretty much the same thing in a different bag. Then you've got your orchid bark, your aspen and lignocell, and then most importantly, Arcadia Earth Mix. Absolutely love this stuff. This and the ProRep BioLife we're getting quite a lot as well. You don't have to be doing a bioactive tank to use this, but because it's a mix of things, it's really good for millipedes, isopods, tarantulas, any kind of tropical gecko. If you dry it out, I mean, it's fine to use dry, but it can get a little bit dusty, so I would usually mix something with it, like maybe a bit of sand or something, if you're going to use it in a more arid setup. But yeah, it's good stuff as that. And as many of you know, we've started doing loads of different roaches. So these are the dubia. Obviously, you've got all your normal life foods like your morios, mealworms, got silkworms in this week, waxworms, all your different crickets, locust, springtails, loads of different cleanup crews as well, loads of isopods. These albino ones are gorgeous, they're well good. It's more springtails but slightly different style, and our fruit flies that are made by one of our fabulous customers. As many of you know, I have been playing around with heating and lighting for my tarantulas, my personal ones. This is my female green bottle blue that it will not focus on. She don't want to talk, so that's fine. She's doing really good. She's webbed all that corner up there. Don't even quite see it over the top of the bloody wood. There you go. So she's got that, and then basking lamp on a dimming thermostat. Really deep substrates, try and give her different options for humidities. Loads of anchor points, and weirdly, she hasn't murdered these plants yet, but she is certainly working on this one here. You can kind of see all the webbing attached to it there. Eventually, pretty much the whole back of that tank will just be web. She's just fattening up after a molt now. You see she's a bit light on the back end. And then we will be pairing her up with an eager male, bless him, that's matured a couple of months back. So yeah, she is cool. And this is one of the other bioactive heated and lit tarantula terrariums. So this one is my smaller female chili rose. Is just there at the back. She is getting ready to molt. I don't know if you can see how bald she is at the back. These guys do nothing quickly, but they certainly do it quicker when they're given access to a heater. Not everyone's particularly happy about me doing this, but if we don't try it, we don't know if it works. When she's malted as well, she'll be paired up. The lady next door, which I'll show you in a second, she's been paired up and she's massive. So yeah, but last year she malted a lot quicker than usual, so the heat definitely helps. And she does bask like every morning. Where she is now is at about 28 degrees at that sort of point. It's about 30 directly under the lamp, and she does sit there first thing. But yeah, and then she's got her burrow under there. All this here is malt that she kept underground for a year and then kicked out recently. But it's all webbed inside, and she can take herself down there. It goes down to, I think, 21 in there when the shop's a bit warmer. Very, very rarely uses it. This plant took over. It's even grown through the mesh a few times. It's awesome. Couldn't even tell you what it is, but it's done really well. And it flowered last year as well, which is really cool. And then she's got a little one down there as well. Very cute. And then a funky palm torch, which we need to get these back in because they're really good decoration. And then this is the other female. So you see, she's nice and big, nice and fuzzy. She's not malted at all since I've had her. So we've paired a bit of a risk if she might molt in the next 6 months, but you never know. Her plants, not so great. Yeah, but her tank's the same sort of thing, where it's all bioactive, massively deep substrate. Burrow goes all the way under where she's sat there, and then her basking spot is over there, and again controlled by a dimming thermostat. So that rock, kind of where the leaves are, that hits about 30, and she sits there on a morning, but she fed yesterday and has taken herself back up there, which is really weird. When she tends to go into this corner and then after about a week, she goes back and basks again. And as you can see, she's webbing up nicely, and she's been in here for quite a while now. She's absolutely loving life. There's isopods, there's all kinds of stuff living in here. It's a really cool little tank. And that kind of concludes it. You've kind of seen everything. There is the racks and stuff, but I'm not just going to show you a load of boxes with labels on because that's not interesting. And obviously the gruesome twosome. He's probably going to go and knock his head off now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it's shown you some stuff that you didn't necessarily know we had. And obviously see a few of the animals and stuff. But yeah, so reptiles galore. And then on the other side of this is all the doggy stuff as well. So yeah. Oh, and one last thing. Raw. All the raw. Tons of raw. All the 1 kilo packs are in a different freezer as well. So if you're needing raw food, just ask. Like, we don't expect you to go rummaging. But yeah, so thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you later. Bye.